Checking email and Facebook messages, filled with well wishes for Jim Boysen, who is leaving Houston Methodist Hospital with a new kidney and pancreas, as well as a new scalp and skull.
This is the first, as far as we know, this is the first transplantation of the scalp and skull, period.
Boysen underwent a 15-hour operation by about a dozen doctors and 40 other health workers, delicately.
This is a microsurgical procedure, and to get the bone and the scalp tissue to survive in the new location, you have to connect blood vessels under a microscope with little stitches about half the diameter of a human hair.
For Boysen, a 55-year-old software engineer from Austin, Texas, it's been a long road.
I was type 1 diabetic since age 5, and did okay with that up until about high school. Maybe you started developing some kidney problems, and they got that under control.
But Boysen eventually suffered renal failure and received a kidney pancreas transplant in 1992. He later developed a rare form of cancer called leiomyosarcoma that targeted the smooth muscle under his scalp.
And I had 3 tumors removed, and because of which involved radiation, and 3 skin grafts done on the scalp, and the 3rd skin graft was rather deep and didn't really take.
The open wound on Boysen's head presented a problem for doctors.
We wouldn't probably ordinarily transplant a scalp, but the trick here was that Mr. Boysen was going to receive a kidney and pancreas transplant anyway, and he would have these medications which would protect his scalp and skull from his body's rejection.
Boysen's scalp and skull transplant joins a growing list of firsts in medicine, including face, hand, and even womb transplants.
With appropriate planning, good collaboration, team building, the miracle of organ donation, you can actually break a barrier for patients and actually achieve something that wasn't possible before.
And maybe even a silver lining.
Well, I didn't have this much hair, so it looks better.
Boysen will remain in Houston for 2 to 3 weeks for follow-up. Jill Craig, Associated Press, Houston.